Good evening and welcome to the 2013 National Honor Society Induction Ceremony. My name is Mr. Lyle Hovland. I am the advisor, and it is my pleasure tonight to welcome 50 new members to our society. I want to thank all the parents and grandparents and friends and family for coming this evening. And I'm going to get things started by introducing Mr. Paul Schmitz, our high school administrator.
Good evening. So, I am the guy with the remarks for the night. And as I was reflecting on exactly what this night is, it reminds me of something that I hear from students almost every year. What is the National Honor Society? So why are we here? And so, tonight for just a few minutes I'm going to give you my perspective on what this night is and why we're here, from the perspective of the principal. This event, this evening, is unique in two ways. Number one, tonight is a formal opportunity for students to recognize adults that have been important to them in their lives. This is a really formal setting for them to be able to call up some people that have affected them throughout their educational career and really thank them and pat them on the back. So it's a night of celebration, it's a night of fun in that regard, and that's always my favorite part of the evening. The other thing that makes this night unique is we're recognizing a group of students, not at the end of something, but during something. If you're in a sports team, you have an awards banquet every year, and the kids get thanked, the kids get honored, but it's always as they're completing that sport when the season's over. At graduation, by the time you'll be graduating, you will be ready to not be here at all, and the day will be a blur, and you'll be walking out the door as we shake your hands. Tonight, for you seniors, you still have the better part of a year left. And for the juniors, we're recognizing you, and you're only one quarter past being half done with your education here at the high school. So it's an opportunity for us to thank you, to honor you, to appreciate, to take a look and to appreciate what you've done so far, but at the same time, I still have a chance to talk to you while you're still here, and it's kind of nice. So I just have a couple things to say about the four categories. You'll hear the formal version in a little bit from members of the Honor Society and the National Honor Society take on the four qualities of a National Honor Society inductee. But I just want to talk about each of them just for a second. Remember the order, because that's important to me. The first one is service. The idea of service, it's not something that a lot of teenagers really think about. I'm imagining there's some of you that are volunteers at your church, you're volunteers at the community, you just naturally enjoy doing things for other people, and for you, this was a really easy category. But for those of you that were thinking about the National Honor Society, and I've heard to get into college, it helps to be in the National Honor Society, and colleges really look for things that what do we do outside of the regular day? If that's the only reason why you signed up to do a service project is to help your college resume and to join the National Honor Society, we're perfectly fine with that. Then this organization is doing its job. Because hopefully when you did sign up for that, you did it, even if you didn't do it for the altruistic reason, you learned through this service that the old cliche is, the volunteer often gets more than the recipient when it comes to service. Hopefully you chose something that you found some enjoyment in, you maybe learned a little about yourself, and it will lead you to thinking about the world in a different way. Learning that service for others is really the secret to happiness. The secret to enjoying life is to work every day for others, and then you receive yourself. And hopefully you learn a little bit more about yourself through this, and you had some good experiences with the service hours. And Mr. Hovland has talked in the past about the numbers of hours that are represented here tonight in service of others, and it's just amazing. People would be surprised at the numbers of hours that you put in for others. The second one is character. I don't know the level of how much you know about how much you're vetted as you go through this process. But every teacher and principal and guidance counselor receives a sheet of paper with your name on it. And we're supposed to rank you by your character in 1 through 6, 6 being the highest. I've heard kids say before, oh, the National Honor Society, I've heard almost everybody gets into that. Well, it's not really true. It is true that most of the kids that go through the work get into the National Honor Society. That's a true statement. But when you look at all the things that you have to do, imagine the kids that are thinking, so the teachers are going to rate me. Basically, any teacher has the ability to block you from being here tonight. If a teacher gives you a 1 or a 2, if a teacher deems you as not having the character that should be determined as or that you'd want to have as a recipient of this honor society, you probably wouldn't get in. So for you to be able to look at the character qualities and say, that's me, that says a lot. That says a lot about your character. And then leadership. If we took any organization in this school, any sports team, student council, pep band, anything that I as the principal brag about or think is great about this school, I probably have most of the leaders of almost all of those organizations right in front of me. And I would imagine for some of you that was maybe the easiest box to check and the easiest thing to demonstrate. But we also have quite a few people here that aren't leaders in a traditional sense. You may be good in the classroom, you may be a really nice person, but you were wondering, well, am I really a leader? Just by going through this, by putting yourself out there, by signing up for something like this, you are. You're attempting to take the next step, you're attempting to better yourself. You might not lead, you might not be the person standing on the bench in the locker room yelling at your teammates. But if you're leading by example, if you're doing the right thing every day, the school needs leaders like that. And for the kids that are here right now, National Honor Society represents under 10% of the Willmar Senior High School. I understand as the principal here, the reason why this is a great place to come to work, and hopefully most days it's a good place to come to school, is because of the leadership that all of you have in the hallways every day, in the classrooms every day. You do the right thing for the teachers, you do the right things for your classroom, and we appreciate, and tonight is a chance for us to be able to say thank you for that. And last, scholarship. I held scholarship for last for a reason. This is a gold cord that all of the seniors will be receiving at graduation if you have a 3.25 or greater, if you receive an honors category. And after graduation, I took a look at the qualifications for your highest your honors, high honors, highest honors, and exemplary honors. And you get medals based upon that. And it always bugged me that we had a category above highest. We have highest honors and then we have exemplary. So with the guidance counselors and a group of teachers, we formed a committee this last year, and we're going to be rolling out a new proposal for a way that we honor students. And when we sat down in this committee, we thought about, well, what is scholarship? What are we really hoping for? We want something beyond the 4.0. If you're a 4.0 student, that's fantastic. That's unbelievable. I wouldn't say how much higher than what I was, but higher than I was when I was a student. But sometimes you learn the most when you struggle. And I would imagine there's a few 4.0 students that finished 4.0 and they maybe could have pushed themselves a little bit harder. So we're taking out one of the categories. We're taking out the exemplary. Anything above 4.0 will be highest. It's as high as you can go. Highest is as high as you can go. So above 4.0, you'll still be honored in a special way. But and you receive medals for your honors. But we're reserving the gold cord. And this might be for the juniors, for sure the sophomores. We're going to roll this out over time. The gold cord doesn't signify your GPA any longer. The gold cord is going to be a signifier of if you challenged yourself. We're going to take a look at your transcript, and we're not going to look at what grades you got, but we're going to take a look at what classes you chose. Did you sign up for AP classes? Did you sign up for advanced classes? Did you challenge yourself? And we're going to have a measure, not on what grades you got in those classes, but a measure based upon how much you challenged yourself in order to determine whether you get this cord or not. And I would imagine that most of you will be receiving these, and we'll be sure we lay it out in time for you to be able to maximize that. Because the secret to getting into college, besides doing things like joining the National Honor Society, congratulations, good job, is to challenge yourself. GPAs don't mean as much as they used to. They're still important. Colleges still look at that. But they really want to know, what did you do to improve yourself in the classroom and outside of the classroom? And for all of you, you can rest assured that you have a leg up over all the competition. Because if you met all the qualifications of the National Honor Society, you have a leg up on everyone with every college application that you send in. So tonight, those of you that are about to speak, don't be nervous. This is a night of fun, this is a night of celebration, this is a night to relax, and for us to say thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Schmitz. Tonight is a great night of celebrating, and before we welcome our new members, I want to give a chance, as we've always done, for our seniors to recognize a staff member in our community or other communities that's made a significant improvement on their, or a significant enhancement, you could say, to their educational experience at Willmar. Sometimes we have kindergarten teachers, sometimes we have Sunday school teachers, sometimes we have high school teachers. This is the chance for our seniors to say thank you. And I'm also saying to the group that we're welcoming tonight, I hope when you leave tonight, you say thank you to whether it's a teacher or a parent or a friend, that we remember with our scholarship, our leadership, our character, our service, they're a big part of who we are. So with that in mind, I'm going to introduce our first member, with Miss Courtney Hoffman. Please come forward.
Could I have Crystal DeVore come up to the stage? I have known this woman for 6 years, ever since my 7th grade world geography class in middle school. Those were the days. She has helped form me into the person I am today by being my main coach for speech, and recently, with her work and her coaching, I was able to go to state speech for storytelling because she helped guide me there. And I would like to give her some baby presents for her expected babies. So thank you for everything you do. Could Kirsten Harrison come up here, please?
If I could please have Linda Saunders come up to the stage and join me. So tonight I want to honor a teacher that didn't only help me through my academic career last year and this continuing year, but a teacher who has changed my life. I remember open house during my junior year, and I went up to her classroom and I straight up admitted that I didn't know one thing about grammar. And I spent so many days up in her room crying because I couldn't handle it and I just didn't know what I was doing. And she totally lifted my spirits up and made me a confident young woman. I'm much more confident today because of the help that Mrs. Saunders has given me and all of the students. She's very trustworthy and nice, and she's honestly a blessing in my life. And one thing I know that she loves is The Great Gatsby. And in that book, if any of you have read it, which I'm sure most of you have, there is the symbol of the green light, which represents all of Gatsby's dreams. And I remember going up to Duluth for a college visit and seeing a green light at the end of the dock and thinking of Mrs. Saunders and how I'm going to achieve my dreams because she was there for me. And so I wanted to give her a green lamp that has a Gatsby quote on it, as well as some flowers as a thanks for everything she's done for me and all of her students. And if I could have Bailey Hovland come up here, please, and thank you. I'd like to call Mr. Polly up to the stage. So, as a young and nerdy bookworm coming from elementary school to Roosevelt, it was a little bit strange to have to find new friends, new interests to make my friend group bigger so that in middle school I would have some people to talk to. And I turned to the library, obviously. And the one person who was always at the library was Mr. Polly. And I would go in there all the time. Sometimes we just talk. I remember something about chess. I don't know why we're talking about chess because I don't even like chess. And I remember doing a Galapagos presentation for him. I'm not sure why. But every time I went in there, he either had a word of advice, he had a little bit something to talk about, or he recommended a new book to me, which is always a new adventure. So I wanted to invite Mr. Polly up here today just to thank him for helping me through a little bit of an awkward stage and always being that one person to kind of guide you to the next stage and make you comfortable with who you are. Would Maddie Dunnett please come forward?
Would Chris Olson please come up to the stage? 10th grade biology class. Well, there's a college textbook that I did not know how to read. A lot of notes and kind of a crazy teacher sometimes. So Chris Olson has been a major influence in my life. He truly taught me how to learn, as crazy as that sounds. With note-taking, learning how to take tests correctly, and just being more confident in myself, I have been changed completely. I would always get really nervous about taking tests, which I still do, but I'm getting better at it. And he told me once you got this, you can do it, you're gonna get into college, and I did, so that's good, right? So, I mean, he was right all along. So I just wanted to thank Chris Olson from the bottom of my heart for making me more confident in myself and in my schoolwork.
Our last guest for this evening is not able to be here. She is in the Twin Cities with a few of our new members at the state swim meet. Kennedy Howard and Mr. Trocco have already met and talked about the influence that Mr. Trocco has had on her band experience in Willmar Public Schools, and just wanted to make sure we also honored Mr. Trocco this evening. And now for the main event, welcoming our new members. Membership of the Willmar Senior High School chapter of the National Honor Society has been earned by its members by effectively demonstrating 4 qualities held in high esteem by the Society. 4 of our members will review the qualities of scholarship, service, leadership, and character for our candidates.
Scholarship means a commitment to learning. A student is willing to spend hours in reading and studying, knowing the lasting benefits of a cultivated mind. We should continue to learn even after formal education has ended, for education ends only with the end of life. Knowledge is one great element of life which leads to the highest success, and it can be acquired in only one way, through diligence and effort. Learning furnishes the lamp by which we read the past and the light which illuminates the future. Candidates have the charge to continually expand their world through the opportunities inherent in scholarship.
Scholarship means a commitment to learning. A student is willing to spend hours in reading and studying, knowing the lasting benefits of a cultivated mind. Oh, excuse me, I read the wrong one. Service can be described in various ways. In the routine of the day's work, many opportunities arise to help others. Willingness to work for the benefit of those in need without monetary compensation or without recognition is the quality we seek in our membership. Those who serve others are repaid with satisfaction and a feeling of goodwill that comes from within. We are committed to the idea of volunteering, our time and abilities to the creation of a better tomorrow.
Leadership, in order to benefit mankind, must proceed from unselfish motives. It requires a constant denial of self, a genuine affection for others, and the ability to begin and complete a job. Leadership in school and in the community is demonstrated in many ways. It may mean holding an office in a club, participating in a school sport, or by standing up for the principle you know to be right. Not all leaders hold office, but all leaders have self-confidence and will go forward when others hesitate. Leadership is always needed, thus, to lead is a substantial charge to each of our members.
Character is the force within each individual which distinguishes that person from others. It gives each one individuality. Without it, no one can respect oneself, nor hope to attain the respect of others. It is the force of character which guides one through life, and when once developed, grows steadily. Character is achieved, not received. It is the product of constant action and daily striving to make the right choice. By demonstrating such qualities as respect, responsibility, trustworthiness, fairness, caring, and citizenship, we may hope to prove by example that we value character.
To some, these qualities may seem to be beyond the reach of the average student, but they are not. There are over 1,200 students in this high school, all of whom have the foundations for National Honor Society membership. While not all students have met the requirements, there are many who have met the standards for membership in our National Honor Society. Upon the recommendation of our faculty, I am pleased to confer membership in the Willmar Senior High School chapter of the National Honor Society upon the following students. As your name is read, I ask that you would come forward to receive your certificate and then return to your seat. We will go up the stairs this way, and if you could exit and go back down to your seat, that would be great. Tonight's members that we are recognizing are Amelia Hammond, my apologies, you probably should wait to hold the applause till we're all done, but thank you. Sam Inez, Rebecca Arnold, Kayla Barney, Alec Bateman, Kelsey Blackwell, Cole Block, Ashlyn Bailey, Hannah Boyd, Brianna Bredesen, Molly Brown, Mackenzie Cook, Rachel Kroonquist, Keisha DeYoung, Lorraine Fisher is not able to be here tonight. She's at the state swim meet. Sydney Fisher, Allison Fries. Katerina Gazelle. Samantha Gozer. Austin Grove. Cameron Haugen. Michaela Hendrickson is not able to be here. She is also at the state swim meet. Alicia Howard is also there. Here tonight is Allison Jeffords. Caitlin Keynotes. Kaylin Kapacek. Allison Kaveen. Jonathan Linden. Courtney Magnuson. Elizabeth Mangan. Yolanda Marble. Nicole Marshall. Kaylee Minnick. Teresa Molinar. Jackson Muldrow. Laura Norling. Derek Peterson. Alex Reynolds. Allison Rail. Danielle Rosen. Leah Bruder. Nicole Schlegel. Claire Schmitz. Emma Seavey. Brett Swanson. Caitlin Swanson. Thomas Madison. Evan Vandenheide. McCoy Van Klompenberg. Let's give them a round of applause. At this point in time, I would like all the National Honor Society members, new and existing, to please rise. I work in a phenomenal school. We have great students here. Some of the students are not here this evening, but these students have met the 4 qualities of the National Honor Society. I truly hope they feel special and know how much of an impact they have on this building and our community. I have the pleasure of looking through their service documents. That is my sole responsibility. These students are incredible as offering themselves without payment to our community and the world. So it's exciting to see the mission trips, the things that are happening, that not just in Willmar, but elsewhere. These students are saying that whether it's in social media, in our building, in their future endeavors, that they truly want to represent themselves. And I'm excited about the days to come for them. New members, we are so happy to welcome you to the National Honor Society. May you always uphold the aims of the National Honor Society, which I ask you to commit yourself to now. On the back of your program is our pledge. If you could join me, please. I pledge myself to uphold the high purposes of the National Honor Society, to which I have been selected. I will be true to the principles for which it stands. I will be loyal to my school and will maintain and encourage high standards of scholarship, service, leadership, and character. Once again, I truly believe they need a round of applause. Before we leave tonight, there's a couple things that I want to do. One, in a second here, we're going to take a photo of the group. It's the one chance we'll have everybody together, and I'll take my picture for the yearbook, and then I'm welcoming all parents and grandparents. Whoever wants to come up for that photo op, I will make them stand for your photo. And then in a little bit, I would like to invite you to join us in the cafeteria. We'll have brownies and punch, and just a chance again to celebrate their lives and what they contributed to our building and our community. Before that, however, I just want to tell you a little bit about our group and what we do. Tonight is not just about recognizing students that have met the 4 standards. It's also about a chance to continue to give back as a group. This year we're already in the works to try to do something in the Twin Cities. We've never left Willmar, but we have an executive committee that's already leading the possible charge of going to the cities, spending a day, working somewhere, and then maybe taking them to a Twins game or supper or something on the way back. But a chance for us to leave Willmar and give elsewhere. We also do a highway cleanup project, and probably my favorite, and I know my students' favorite, is our art dance. The night after prom, we have what I call the big dance. I host 2 dances in this building. I host a little dance, which I call prom. I spend a great deal of time making sure that it's a phenomenal night for everybody that wants to attend. But the truly special night is the next night. These students, my National Honor Society members, are willing to come the next evening and host a dance, a spring dance, for ARC of Candy, Ohio. ARC stands for the Association of Retarded Citizens. And as Mr. Smith said earlier, service is often something that you think that you give, but I think everybody that I've ever talked to in helping with the art dance realizes, oh, it's not about giving. This is an event about receiving. That my students walk in there, we welcome people to come to the dance. We have about somewhere between 500 and 800 people. And that's one night out of the year that we make sure everybody knows we're all equal. We're all special. We all have great things to offer. We all have different needs. We dance, we have a great night, and it's so fun for me to witness my students saying to other people in our community, you're just like me, let's have a blast. So I know that's one thing we're doing for sure. Again, this year, our National Honor Society art dance, our highway cleanup, but this is a group that's also looking to do other things. It's difficult because this is also a group that's very, very involved in a lot of things. So it's very neat to see them still giving back when they're so engrossed in their own activities. So with that, I'm going to invite all of the members to come up. We'll get a photo. And then, like I said, parents, grandparents, once I'm done with my shot, then I will welcome anybody else to come up and take their picture.
Throw you dollar bills. Basketball. Just bring your here's the fly. This doesn't quite cut it.